Last year, I created the perfect morning routine. Each morning at 6:30 a.m., I rolled out of bed and began a series of mindfulness practices to begin my day. I brushed my teeth, washed my biceps, lit a bundle of sage, meditated in solitude, and journaled for 15 minutes expressing my gratitude to the universe.
Dear Universe, thanks.
As the sun rose, I took a walk around the neighborhood. And of course, before I got to work, I made a cup of coffee in slow motion.
It was by all accounts the perfect morning routine, but I decided to completely scrap it and start over with something much simpler. I want to talk about my reason for why I did that, my current morning routine, and also how you can build intentional routines into your own life. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I've got a really, really big announcement to make. What was that? Did you hear that?
There's a bit of an odd obsession with morning routines in the self-development and business world.
When you wake up in the morning, do you have a routine?
At what time do you get up normally in the morning?
You get out of the bed, you go to the bathroom.
But I totally get it. I've been interested in it myself ever since I first started trying to wake up before 7:30 a.m. each morning. Before that point, my mornings were pretty typical. Maybe you've got a similar morning routine right now. You wake up to the sound of... yeah, that sound. You're likely groggy from a lack of sleep. You brush your teeth, check social media from the toilet, grab a snack and coffee to get you through the next couple of hours, until you finally leave the morning behind and reach the long-awaited afternoon. Most of us simply tolerate our mornings. It's the thing that you have to do to get to the rest of your day.
And so to take back those first few hours of your day feels like a worthwhile pursuit, to reclaim that time. And this goes for people who consider themselves night owls as well. It's not just for people who wake up at 6 a.m. If you wake up at 1 p.m. and work well into the night, the big question that we're trying to answer here is, how do I start my day? How do I fill those first few hours of my morning?
I remember listening to an audiobook years ago called The Miracle Morning. It was as corny as it sounds, but as you might know, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for corny self-help books. Anyway, the key takeaway that I got from this book: plan time for yourself in the morning before your day gets away from you and other people's priorities become your own.
I had already experienced what was one of the most peaceful, motivating, empowering, inspiring, and energizing days of my life. And it was only 6 a.m. Nothing short of a miracle.
I told you it was a little corny. But I think this is what most people are looking for when they set out to build a morning routine. Their goals might be different: to work on a passion project, fit in a workout, have some quiet time before the kids wake up. But the intention is still the same: to add a little bit of control back into their lives, to rearrange their priorities.
If you're working a full-time job, if you're taking care of kids during the day, if you're running from one thing to the next, then there's no better time to do something for yourself than first thing in the morning. The reason being, it's just so easy to give excuses later on in the day. 7 or 8 p.m., we're tired, we're fatigued, our willpower is maxed out. We've made so many decisions during the day that by the time that comes around and it's time to do our workout, we just give in. We give an excuse. We say, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow. Let me just watch some Netflix and chill right now. And so by doing it first thing in the morning, we're killing all those chances for us to give excuses and to give in and give up.
Now, in the case of my supposedly perfect morning routine, something was going wrong. It was supposed to be a time to really focus on the things that I was interested and passionate in to help ground me. But as the year progressed, I realized that there were some negative consequences.
I'd start my day meditating, reading, listening to podcasts, and it was so easy for me to let that morning routine go from 30 minutes to 60 minutes to half of a day. And all of a sudden, I'm putting off my priorities, the things that I really care about. And so I had to step back and ask myself a question. And this is something that you might be doing right now, asking yourself, how do I really want to spend my time? How do I want to start my mornings? We talk a lot about this word intention, and it feels like a magic bullet in a lot of ways. But at its simplest form, living a life of intention or creating an intentional morning routine means simply asking questions and answering them truthfully, honestly, and continuing to ask those questions over time. Because the answers will continue to change as you continue to grow and as you continue to change.
Oftentimes, the ideal life isn't a perfect image. The perfect morning, day, or life doesn't exist. Life gets really messy, and so we need to continue to adapt and find out what works best for our lives right now, in this moment, today. And right now, for me, I'm in a season where I'm really excited about my work. My priorities have shifted temporarily from starting my day with a series of mindfulness practices to my passion for telling stories. I simply don't want to put off what's most important to me right now. My current morning routine is ridiculously simple. I wake up around 6 a.m., I roll out of bed, head straight to the kitchen to make a cup of coffee in slow motion, and then I sit down to get to work. My parting advice for you: don't be so rigid in your routines that you completely lose sight of why you're doing them in the first place. What works now might not work 2 months from now, so don't stop asking questions. Also, stop chasing perfection. It's not as perfect as it looks.
And there's actually been a reason that I've been so inspired to get straight to work in the morning, and it's because over the past 4 months, I've been secretly working on one of the biggest projects of my entire life, and I am so excited to announce it and to launch it next week. In the meantime, I didn't want to leave you guys completely hanging, so I've created a teaser, a little sneak peek of what's to come.
We live in a world of instant gratification. We've been taught that success happens overnight. Happiness is a destination, and pizza is a breakfast food.
Hey, I don't think this is the best voiceover to represent...
Shut up, Matt. Our culture is increasingly impatient. Same-day shipping, 20-minute delivery, 6-minute biceps. You call those biceps?
All right, now I feel like you're just mocking me.
But you can bend the status quo. You can mold it to your image. Shape it to define your own destiny.
That doesn't even make sense. God, I just wasted $300 on a voiceover.
Good things come to those who wait. Hashtag good things come. August 18th. Am I supposed to be reading all this?